Dan, here we are. Welcome to the war-torn streets of Stalingrad, otherwise known as Stan's back garden. It's obviously not Stalingrad, you wouldn't have a picnic table in Stalingrad, would you? But the oil drum and the Finnish helmet, which is going to stand in for a German helmet. They don't bring me real one downstairs. Although the display I've got coming up, I might put a cover on that and make it a German helmet in inverted commas. So this is the Mp41 project finished. Now, I will tell you how I did it. Now, this is just my opinion. This is the 5th or 6th replica I've done, 3rd Denix. I've done a replica air pistols before where I've aged them. And each one I've done slightly differently. It's a learning curve, I suppose. You can watch YouTube, you can do. My latest thing of having a go at the metal is this, one of these. It literally just strips the metal off, and probably a bit too much. I'll bring the reproduction up. It's closer to the camera, but I think the barrel's got a bit too much metal off it. The butt is, it's a reproduction. Doesn't matter. And I've found that once you've done it once, you can maybe go over it with a bit of oil. I don't think you can blue this sort of stuff, but you could paint it. You can do all sorts you like to it, till you're happy with the result. I'm probably okay with this, but we'll see. It might need another coat of linseed oil. So what did I do? You can see the black bits on it, where you, as the soldier, you would grab the weapon there, your fingers, and there. So what I did was, I took the wood back, and I could never understand why you would take the wood back when your Denix comes already coloured, simply because you look at Denix, they're always like a reddy brown colour, not good for originality. So I took the wood back, and then I got some oil of bike chain and put my hand round it there and there, and just rubbed it in, let it dry. I don't let these things dry for 24 hours. And then I went over it with, I'd read someone that said liquid shoe polish. I did a bit of that wasn't the greatest. Let that dry for just a quarter of an hour, and then I went over it with like wood stain, not like it's more like for repairs, wood stain, little dark bottle of dye. They're probably all the same stuff. Went over it with that, let it dry for 20 minutes, quite warm day. This is yesterday, by the way. A couple of coats of boiled linseed oil, which again, I'll have to say to anyone who doesn't know anything about boiled linseed oil, don't leave the rags anywhere that you don't want. They can burst into flames, basically. Boiled linseed rags, soaked rags, if under the right circumstances. Just roughed the strap up a little bit, went over the metalwork to make it, and I think you have to go a little bit more than a Diak would look, simply to take your eye off the shininess. Because if you hold this up against, say, the Beretta, which is a similar shaped weapon, this one, in the gloom of the loft, it does look alright, but up against, there's not as much paint off the jet fighter going over, off the Beretta as this, because that's made of gunmetal. This is made of Zamac alloy. So yeah, a pretty nice effort. I'll turn it around, you can have a look. So I'll hold it up to the camera a bit, see that. So you see the dark stain where I've got the, hope that's coming across in the camera, where I've held it there. Or the glue as well. I had to glue it, as you might remember, and all I did was I got some really strong glue, squirted it down in the inside of the barrel, and then when that had set overnight, I just did it around the little swivel loop, and it seems to have worked. Thanks to Anvil Laguerre. He said put super glue and baking powder in there, and whilst that would be an ideal, I would imagine an ideal situation, it was just difficult because I couldn't strip the reproduction apart, so that's why I didn't use that method. But yeah, thanks for the tip. What else have I done with it? So I turn it round. I know I usually get myself in camera, don't I? It would probably benefit from another going over with maybe some wood stain or some boiled linseed oil, but I'll just live with it for a while and see how I get on. If you remember, the magazine was loose, so all I've done with that, dead simple, I put a bit of just a little wrap of electrician's tape around it. As you can see, it's starting to pull on there, so it's not ideal, but how many times I'm going to be taking the mag in and out, probably not a great deal. Right, tip from the French fellow, I can't remember his name, but he said, hollow magazine, stuff it. My wife's here. Yes, please, thank you. Well, go around the back of me then, please, thank you. You can't go in camera. Well, interrupting historical content here. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, the French fellow on the who was sponsored by Denix, he stuffed his magazine with rags. So I just got a couple of old socks and shoved them down with a screwdriver to the point where it was tight, where I really had a fight to get that in. But it's just one inert 9mm round in there. It's a single stack magazine. I think it should have been a single. It doesn't matter anyway, because yeah, it's a single stack mag. So that just sits in there like that, and I think it looks quite good. So when you cock and click it, if you like, when you do that, you see, where are we? I can't see because of the light. There you go. There you go. So it looks like it's got a round in there. The other thing I was going to do, which I didn't, I was going to put some rubber inside here to stop the bolt slamming up against the face, because I mean that could affect the security, whether this goes again. You can see the glue in there. I mean, it's a reproduction. It's meant to be on display in the gloom in the corners. You're not going to see it. But what I found is when I look down it, it's sort of hitting. It's hitting like the inside of this collar. I'm not very good at doing this with this side of the camera. It's hitting this side of the collar. So you'd really have to put a rubber pad all the way across the face of the bolt, which I would do. I actually used a bit of old rugby shoulder pad, but I can't get in because I can't strip this reproduction down. I can't get in to do it, so I'm just going to leave it. If I do dry fire this thing, I am just going to go like that. Just let it. It's just the mechanism, really. It's not the slamming it forward. Will probably break something. So yeah, I'll put it back to. I don't think there's anything. There is. It does say made in Spain by Denix there. You can see it, but I'm not bothered. So I'll just put it down there again. So that's me Denix Mp41 project. I'll say complete. When it's gone on display, maybe after a few weeks, when the wood's soaked up, everything is soaked up, it may want another run over with a boiled linseed oil, or even the wood stain. I know that's definitely been the case with the PPSH 41, and that one, if I'm in the man cave watching the TV, I sort of sit there, dig my nail in it, just like make it look like it's been used, dragged about. And you probably, with the metalwork on Denix's, you have to make it look a bit older than it would be if it was a Diac. So that's it. So if you just forget about the picnic table, we're in downtown Stalingrad. I don't know the Germans have used these in there. Anyway, stop waffling on. I'm going to put this in a display of like a Russian Army of Liberation POA. I think that's what it's going to go on. I do have some ammo pouches, MP40 ammo pouches, which I've got some Sten gun mags in. So that's Stan. 8 minutes of me, as always. Right, I suppose I better get on with helping my wife do the garden. So this is Stan, and I will see you.